Good afternoon and early evening, everyone. Welcome to Washington Street Gym. We're just a smidge late getting started. I decided I was going to try to update something, and it took me a minute or so longer than I anticipated. Monmouth-Roseville and the Bombers here in JV action. There's a shot off, no good by Carmen Way, and it's going to be back into the hands of Jasmine Copeland. Down low, shot up and in. First basket of the game goes to number 24, Layla Catilli. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton alongside tonight. John, how's it going?
Dude, it's going. Just got back to school for my last semester at Western here this week, and now I'm here at Washington Street Gym for my second time this week doing Macomb girls basketball. Glad to be here.
How excited are you to be able to say that it's your last semester at Western?
Pretty excited. I'm ready to be done with it, but it's going to be a slog here towards the end. Loaded up my class schedule for the final semester so I could graduate in the spring instead of the summer. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, but, yeah, excited for sure.
Copeland tracked down an errant pass from Elena Riley. Back down low it goes to Catilli. And a shot up off, no good, but the foul is going to be called. The foul is going to be on Bombers number 23. That's Brooklyn Lyles. Her first, team's first. A couple free throws coming for Carmen Way, a freshman for Monmouth-Roseville. 5:26 left here in quarter number one. First one is good. 3-0 lead for the Titans. On the floor for the Titans is number 1, Jasmine Copeland. At the free throw line, number 2, Carmen Way. Number 24, Layla Catilli. We talked about her. Number 11 is Nevaeh Stokes. The second one was good as well. And number 12, Elena Riley. For the Bombers to start things off, Aubrey Holthouse, number 10. There is Lyles, number 23. Number 22 on the floor is Josie Elby, and there's a steal back the other way it goes. Copeland's going to, or excuse me, Way's going to put up another shot. I think Lyles is going to pick up another foul. Nope. It's going to be on the Bombers number 12, Kenley Sloan. Her first, team second. Way back at the free throw line. She just hit 2. Make it 3 in a row. Sub coming in for the Bombers. That's Melina Mwangong. Wearing number 50. She's number 30 on your rosters at home if you have one. So Mwangong in. She replaced Aubrey Holthouse. No, she didn't. She replaced number 12, Kenley Sloan. Also out there, number 4, Kate Rector. And down low, Mwangong gets the buckets. Bombers on the scoreboard.
Nice job there by Macomb. They've been going to that high pick and roll set often here to start off in first quarter. They're finally able to make the connection there. And now you see Macomb up in a little bit of backcourt pressure here. Looks like a man-to-man press.
And knocked the ball out of bounds once and going to knock it into the backcourt this time. Mwangong comes up with it. Lyles goes over to Holthouse. Holthouse drives. She gets an open lane to the basket, throws it up and throws it in, and it's a 1-point game. Bombers 4 unanswered.
Nice hard no drive there by Holthouse as she's able to get to a rim, and she almost comes away with the steal in the backcourt.
Sometimes the ball just goes your way, and it 3 times on this one possession has done that for the Titans. And there's a baseline jumper from the far side, and that's number 5, Lyric Churn, on the bucket for the Titans. Lyles, Mwangong is going to lose it out of bounds. It'll go back to the Titans. Back in for the Titans is going to be number 1, Jasmine Copeland. She's going to replace number 11, Nevaeh Stokes. And they had a chance to trap her right there, John, and didn't get the job done.
No, they didn't. Lyles could have came over, and Holthouse as well joined in there. Might have been able to put a little more pressure on the ball there, but they're going to get a steal nonetheless right here.
What a job by Holthouse to get into the passing lane. She's going to get – they're going to call a foul.
Might have had some contact on the arm as she was reaching out to pick up the ball. I'm not quite sure.
Lyric Churn gets the foul, her first, team's first. Holthouse waiting to get it in. Finally to Mwangong. .3:14 remaining in quarter number 1. Hop in that live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. Love to see that. There's Lyles driving baseline. Has to dump it back out. Elby on the shot off, no good. Copeland came down with the rebound. And again, right into the double team, but a foul is going to be called. I believe it's going to be Kate Rector picking it up. It is Rector picking her first foul up, team second. Or third, excuse me. 2:53 to go. I'm not sure if I'm digging these shorts for the Monmouth-Roseville.
You know, I was kind of looking at that pregame. They almost just seem out of place a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't quite go with the jersey.
Yeah. And I mean, they match color-wise. It just doesn't. A solid jersey into those striped shorts just doesn't seem to. Since when did we become fashion police, but whatever. But you can give them one thing, they are different.
No, for sure.
And if you got to give them that much, not doing the same old, same old.
Yeah, you'll probably never see another jersey and shorts combo like it.
Yep. Tilly with it. Now she's going to give it off to Stokes. There's a shot up off, no good. Bounced around, and Elby couldn't come down with it. Copeland does. To Way. Way's shot up off, no good. Might have been partially blocked by Lyles, and finally it's going to be Mwangong, then Rector, then Lyles, now down to Elby. Elby to the basket, and then fouled in transition. Copeland is going to pick up the foul to be her first, team second.
Nice job there by the Bombers getting out in transition. Lyles was able to pick it up and throw the about halfway or half-court bounce pass down low for Lyles.
Scratched at it was actually on number 5, Lyric Churn, her second. They called it on the trailing player instead of the lead player.
So now Churn with 2 fouls will check out of the game as well.
Elby makes them both. 2:02 remaining. In a hurry, Copeland has her pass knocked away, gets in the hand of Elby. Elby throws it away, right to Way. Ways pulls up, leaves it short. It's going to go into the hands of Brenna Livingston, who's in the ball game, number 10. And they reset the offense to the Titans. Livingston with it. Far side to Way, looking down to a cutting Copeland. She's blocked by Elby, picked up by Rector, and back the other way it goes for the Bombers. 1:33 remaining. Not sure if Mwangong was supposed to set a screen there. She looks a little lost outside the arc out there. Holthouse pull-up jumper. Hard off right iron, no good. Copeland has it. Rector was harassing her, but she finds a way around. 1:05 remaining. Timeout on the floor, charge to Monmouth-Roseville. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
And welcome back here. 1:05 to go in quarter number 1. 7-6 is the score. Titans lead by 1. Bombers trailed 5-0 though, so it's a 5-2 run for Macomb High. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton's alongside. It's Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High sports. And John, I'm not sure that the Bombers would have drawn it up that way, but they've responded well to that 5-0 deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do thanks to the pressure that they're applying on the backcourt. They're really speeding up the Titans back there. They've been able to come up with a couple turnovers to get easy buckets on the other end. And here, once again, you see some Bombers leaking out down court. Holthouse had a chance to throw a touchdown pass to Rector, as she will get called for the travel. But the Bomber is in transition, and just as well as that backcourt defense has just been really impressive. They've been able to crawl back into this one.
49.5 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Boy, Rector's just riding all the way down the floor, but no foul call. Catilli trying to find somewhere to go. She ended up having to pass it out, though, as the Bombers double-teaming her down on the post. That goes off the hands of Copeland out of bounds. It'll be Bomber basketball. Checking in for the Titans is Elena Riley. She'll replace Nevaeh Stokes. 23 seconds left. Holthouse with it on a pass that went right at her ankles. Elby, 15 seconds. Lyles, a little floater, off no good. Ball on the ground. Kinley Sloan maybe had a chance at that, but just was a little hesitant to go after it. And now it's going to be a steal by Holthouse. 3, 2, 1. She's going to do a little runner. It's off no good. She might have had time to get there for the layup, but it would have been really, really close. He was kind of in that no man's land right there trying to decide, do I go all the way or do I pull up and jump? And she kind of got caught in the middle. Well, that's the end of the first quarter of play. Titans lead the Bombers in JV action 7-6. We'll take a break. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
And welcome back as we get ready for the second quarter here from the Washington Street Gym as you're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Dwayne Hulett, John Burton alongside. And John, Bombers get the ball first here in quarter number 2 and a chance to take a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see the Bombers get back to that pick and roll action. It kind of looked like they were going to do that there. They've been attacking the wings really well, and I'd like to see Macomb get back to that. It's been pretty effective when they can get to it.
Catilli gets the bucket to fall, but it looked like Holthouse might have got away with a little bit of a harm there with no foul call. But it's back to a 3-point lead for Monmouth-Roseville. Now Sloan picked up her dribble in an inopportune place. Now Lyles has it, back to Sloan. Over to Holthouse. So it's Holthouse, Sloan, Lyles, LB, and Rector on the floor for the Bombers. Lyles leaves one. It's blocked, I believe, by Catilli, who gets it out to Riley. Catilli, Riley. Number 10 is Livingston. She's still on the floor. Also out there is Way and Copeland. Catilli leaves it short. Rebound to Elby. Lyles pushing it back the other way. Comes to Holthouse. 3, left side. Banks it around and rolls it in. A Sports Corner 3. And we're tied at 9 as that is the first 3 of the game for Holthouse. She's got 5 points.
Yeah, Lyles had a chance to attack the rim there. She drove it towards the middle, kicked it out to Holthouse, who just kind of toilet bowls that 3 in from outside.
And Sloan gets called for the travel. Very short bench for the Bombers on the far side.
A short bench for both these squads. Look like Macomb's got 2 bench players, and I think Monmouth-Roseville has 3, it looks like.
And Elby is going to pick up a foul. The basket is going to be good for Catilli. And right back to the lead for the Titans. Catilli's got 6 of the 11, and an old-fashioned three-point play coming here. Rattled in and out. Sloan came up with a rebound, gets it to Elby. Elby, a little pump fake, drives on Catilli, and she hits a big-time block. And it back the other way in transition. Livingston, left-hand layup, is blocked just as big on the other end, and then a foul is going to be called on Copeland. Jasmine Copeland is going to pick up the foul. Team's first of the quarter, her first of the game. I called one on her earlier. It ended up being on Churn instead. Way takes a seat, and Livingston takes a seat. For the Titans, is back in the ballgame is the aforementioned Churn as well as Stokes. Now going back the other way with it is Riley, and she backs things back out. 5:53 to go here in quarter number 2 of the JV contest. Looking down low. A little up and under move. Basket is good for Stokes. So back to a 4-point lead, and now another foul as far away from the basket as you could absolutely get. That's going to be on Elena Riley, I believe, number 12. It'll be her first, team's second of the quarter. And when I say as far away from the basket as you could get, that was literally on the baseline at the other way.
Yeah, House is tiptoeing on the baseline there as she's fouled. And we see Monmouth-Roseville is come up under a little bit of pressure here in the second quarter. They didn't do much of that in the first, but got to keep those hands in check. They picked up a couple of early fouls here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, the Bombers turned that one over. I was going to say they hadn't had much problems breaking the press. They broke it or got fouled, so that makes it a pretty easy way to handle the press, but then they throw that one away. 5:24 to go in the first half, 13-9. Titans with the lead over the Bombers here on Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of JV Sports from Macomb High School. Actually, we're at the Washington Street Gym. It's Macomb High and Monmouth-Roseville. Jumper off, no good for Churn, and another foul. Catilli, I think, is going to get this one. If so, it'll be her first. It is Catilli's first. Team's third already here in quarter number 3. 3 fouls, second quarter.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to keep your eye on here as we move through this, as we move closer to the halftime break.
Elby gives it to Holthouse. She wants another sports corner 3. That one rattled in and out. Oh, and a nice baseball pass down court. Layup up and in for Stokes, and Catilli had a great baseball pass there to get that open, and it's the largest lead of the game for the Titans at 6. Lyles drives all the way down the floor with Stokes all over her right side, but she dumps it off. Holthouse has it now with 4:44 to go. Rector now. Holthouse tries to go up and under. Can't get it to fall. Catilli with the rebound, and back the other way it goes. Way, who's back in the game, has the basketball now. That's Churn. Stokes down the corner. Copeland wants the 3. It's off, no good. Elby with the rebound. Bombers have not had much offense outside of the 3 from Holthouse to start the quarter. It's been pretty quiet since then for the last, 3.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, the half-court offense has definitely been struggling here for Macomb. They've been able to score in transition like they had that Holthouse 3, but when Monroe has been able to get down the court, get into their defensive set, Macomb is having a lot of issues breaking through there.
Call a foul on Rector. That'll be her second. Wongyang in again for the Bombers as Rector is out. Holthouse is out. Holdhouse taking some deep breaths over there on the side.
She's been doing everything she can to keep the Bombers afloat here, and we're going to get set for the third time to inbound this basketball on the outside. Lyle's playing good defense on the inbound.
Churn throws a shot up off front iron, no good. Catilli with the rebound. She's going to get it out. She was getting murdered down there. Churn tracks down a loose ball rebound, gets it to Catilli. Mwangong there and knocks it away. Lyles comes up with it. 3:28 to go. She goes over to Kinley Sloan, who can't get it to fall with the left hand. Stokes pulls up, throws it up off, no good. Way with a rebound. Now Churn pulls up middle of the lane. Tilly off, no good. Rebound off, no good again. Rebound up and in. I think that's way over there, isn't it? It was. Timeout on the floor. This time going to be charged to the Bombers. It's a full timeout with 3:02 to go here in quarter number 2 as we're working through the first half. And John, this second quarter has been much the way the first quarter started, but the first quarter only lasted that way for about a minute or two before the Bombers came back to life. They have not come to life here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, Monmouth-Roseville has really just done a much better job taking care of the basketball here in quarter number 2. Not quite as many turnovers that kept the game as close as it was in the first quarter. Bombers, we just saw there a little bit of issue on the defensive rebounds, going to get things cleared up. That results in second chance points. And then once again, just the Macomb half-court offense has just been in shambles here in quarter number 2. Just really haven't been able to get anything going. Outside of Hulett, she's looked good when she was able to get to the rim, but that Monmouth-Roseville defense around the perimeter has really disallowed that here in quarter number 2.
This game being brought to you by Sports Corner at 124. Macomb's original local sports bar is Sports Corner at 124. With a focus on local sports, catch WIU games and all area TSSR Game Time live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124 while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. It's wing night, isn't it there?
It sure is.
It is. $1 traditional wings, and some will tell you, I'm not a traditional wing guy, but some will tell you it's the best in Macomb. Most will tell you, actually.
I'm not a traditional wing guy either, but when it's dollar wing night at Sports Corner, you better bet if I'm free, I'm going.
They have some good food there. There is no doubt about that. And there's Churn's going to lose that one out of bounds. And they aren't. That's like, well, maybe we're having a running clock here and I didn't know about it. So a few extra ticks ran off there. Holdhouse, who's back in the game, has the basketball. Now Lyles going to get a pick from Kinley Sloan. And they try the pick and roll and just really wasn't there. And Lyles threw it anyway. Outlet to Churn. Churn has it taken away by Mwangong. Now it's back the other way. Lyles going to try and beat everybody down the floor. She will, but she can't get the bucket to fall. Way has it, and a jump ball is going to be called. Possession to Macomb. And the inbounds, it looked wide open because the Titans, John, weren't in position to defend the inbound, but Way was just heading back to where the ball went to.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting circumstance there on the inbound. Times they're able to inbound it nonetheless, and they're going to look down low here against Holthouse.
Churn, man, she got hit pretty hard too. Then she gets hit again. Now a jump ball is going to be called as picking it up off the floor was Elena Riley. She got tied up with Kinley Sloan, I believe. 2-3 on the inbound here, and then they'll probably... There's a 3 on the way by Copeland, left it short. Rebound to Sloan, and Copeland is going to pick up her second foul, team's 4th of the quarter. So 1:49 left.
One more to the bonus for Macomb. Again, still quite a bit of time left here on the clock.
Rector and Elby checking back in. Well, they got 6 out there, so somebody needs to leave. It's going to be Kinley Sloan leaving. I remember back in the day when you had to report to the bench and you had to tell the bench who you were reporting in for. There's another pass from Holdhouse to Rector, and it goes off Rector out of bounds, so it'll go back to the Titans. That's the second time that's happened over there.
Yeah, Macomb definitely battling the turnovers here. That's another kind of unforced one there along the right wing.
There's a dribble off the waist, no travel called, and Riley gets the easy bucket. Since that three that tied it at 9, it has been all Monmouth-Roseville here in quarter number 2. Mwange and Lyles again throws it away on the pick and roll, and she's going to pick up the foul. For Lyles, it'll be her second.
Yeah, Lyles there on that last pick and roll just didn't let Mwangan get set up, didn't let her really roll at all. Just as soon as the pick was set, threw it to her, just wasn't quite ready. Monmouth-Roseville was able to get a takeaway. We've seen that a couple times here as well. Got to wait until that roller actually starts rolling to the rim there.
Yeah, you got to let him get the position as the Way misses the free throw. She made her first 3. She's missed her last 2 now, and it's 1:15 to go in the first half. Trying to give her team an 11-point lead, which would be the largest lead of the game. It's at the largest right now at 10. Missed that one as well. Rector with the rebound. She almost traveled with it too. Hold house as we approach 1 minute to go here in the first half. 1 minute remaining here in quarter number 2. And at this point, you know, it's a lot of basketball left. Just try to settle down a little bit and make something good happen for the end of the quarter if you're Macomb, and that is not it. Back the other way, layup up and in for Stokes. 40 seconds left. And now Way knocks it away from Mwangong, and they'll have another chance to add to the lead here. It's 12 right now. Down low, pass to Stokes, back out Churn. Riley comes over to Way, 10 seconds remaining. Livingston, Stokes down low, Cotilli, oh, nice look across the Way, and she can't finish. Gets it back, can't finish there either. That's going to end that half, but man, did they have some great looks at it down the stretch. But the Titans are going to have to settle for a 12-point lead at the half. They lead the Bombers 21-9. Bombers score 6 in the first quarter, just 3 in quarter number 2, and trail by 12 at the half. You're watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. And welcome back to halftime with Milton Griffin, Director of Radiology here at MDH. And Milton, sharp dress, the sharpest dressed interview I think I might have ever done in my life, let alone here at MDH.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Obviously, since you take pride in how you look, you take pride in your department, I would imagine, too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I appreciate McDonough District Hospital affording me the opportunity to be part of a wonderful organization and a spectacular healthcare team.
Now, when people hear radiology, I think they think x-rays. At least that's what I think. But there's more to it than that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's predominantly radiology, but we also have MRI, DEXA, and ultrasound. And those areas do not incorporate x-ray. So, but it's incorporated in the radiology department.
So there's obviously a lot that goes on in your department. So there's a lot of areas you have to have some level of expertise, I would imagine, to be able to be the director. What is it, a hospital the size of MDH offering a wide range of available options in the radiology department? What's that say about MDH?
Right. So number one, we have the some of the most advanced level equipment. Number two, we offer a comprehensive array of radiology services, and that speaks volume for a rural healthcare organization, because usually a rural healthcare organization, they offer some services, but it's not comprehensive. But at MDH, we have the ability to offer comprehensive services, as well as the equipment that we have is top of the line.
Now, obviously radiology is an important part of medicine, but what is it about radiology that drew you to that department?
So when I was in high school, I was in charge of a science project, and one of the books that I was given had a snapshot of a chest X-ray in the upper right corner. And I spoke to my guidance counselor, and she informed me that that's a chest X-ray, and that's done by radiology technology, and that kind of led me down the path of becoming a radiology technologist.
Radiology's changed a lot. I don't know how long you've been in the business, but when my mom was in teens in early 60s, they did x-rays for things that they would never do x-rays for now.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure you've seen a lot of change through the years too, right?
Absolutely.
What has been the biggest change that you've seen?
So I've been in radiology for 47 years, and the biggest change that I've seen is leaving the old technology, which was chemistry, film, and very heavy cassettes, and more or less an image taking from the time that the doctor ordered the image, and if he wanted to see it on an acute basis, it was probably maybe 15 minutes. Now, an acute image can be done, and the doctor can be at the bedside viewing the image in 10 seconds.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
It's crazy. So we've talked to a lot of people in our time here about they're from Macomb, and you're not from Macomb. You told me you're from Chicago. What drew you to Macomb?
So I was interviewing for director's positions, and the organization that brought me here it's B.E. Smith, and B.E. Smith is one of the largest healthcare recruiters in the United States. And the and the recruiter told me, I have a wonderful opportunity, and it's very close to where you are. I said, really? It's close to? Well, I never saw it on Indeed. And she said, no, it's real close to where you are. And then she kind of chuckled, and then she said, well, it's actually in Macomb. So when we finished talking, I Googled the hospital. I saw that it really wasn't very close to Chicago. But I decided to allow everything to take its course. And my first phone interview was with the Vice President of Human Resources and the CEO. And I was very impressed by being interviewed by the CEO on a phone screening call. And that kind of, when they said, well, we like what we heard and we want you to come for an on-site visit, and the rest is history.
Well, before I let you go, we're about done. We're getting ready for the second half here. But I heard through a grapevine that you had a baseball Hall of Fame story?
I do.
Hall of Fame story?
Yes.
What is that all about?
So Sammy Sosa played for the Chicago Cubs, and at that time I was the assistant director for radiology at the University of Chicago. And Sammy Sosa had an episode where it was discovered that his bats were corked, and he had donated these some of his bats to the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame had a exhibit at the museum in Chicago. And the Hall of Fame wanted to make sure that the bats that they had did not have cork. So they called us and they said, "Can we bring the bats over so that you can take an X-ray of the bats to verify if they're corked or not?" So Dr. Barron, who was the chair of the department, contacted me and said, "This is what we're going to do." So at 6:30 a.m., this contingent of very high-level folks entered the medical center. They found us in radiology. We took an X-ray of the bats. The bats did not have cork. Dr. Barron said, "Why don't we take one step beyond?" And we took CT scans of the bats. And no cork was identified.
Might as well done MRIs and everything while you're at it, right?
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming and talking to us. And
Thank you.
Hopefully you don't have to radiology, any kind of radiology on any more bats.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with the second half right after this. And welcome back here to the hangar, the original Washington Street Gym. The Macomb Bombers and the Monmouth-Roseville Titans doing basketball girls style here this evening. I say this afternoon because we had a 5:30 start tonight rather than a 6 p.m. start. So getting done a little early. But the thing that's we were kind of talking about during the interview there was off air was we're covering games at 2 other locations tonight besides this, and this is the only one playing JV. The other 2 are varsity only.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that just goes to speak on the number of girls basketball players around the area. There are some teams that are kind of struggling to put together numbers. I mean, even here tonight, Macomb with just 7 players, and then Monmouth-Roseville with just 8 players dressing for JV. You can tell the numbers are definitely down in that department, but there's still plenty of good basketball to go around here in the area for sure.
21-9. It was a good second quarter for the Titans. They were able to put, 14 points on the board. The Bombers, on the other hand, were able to manage just 3. So rough quarter for them. Unforced errors were a large part. I mean, the pick and roll, which is the offense that Bombers are trying to run, John, they're at least looked to me like they're throwing the pass too early. Whether it's open or not, they're just going as soon as they get off the pass, they're just trying to lob it down. And Monmouth-Roseville was playing good enough defense to get steals.
Yeah, and Macomb was able to connect a couple times on that pick and roll early on in the first quarter. But as you mentioned, in the second quarter, Macomb just didn't let the roller really get down, get set, and establish a better position. Then kind of didn't really let the roller roll is a lot of the issue there on the turnovers for Macomb. And I'd also like to see the ball handler attack off that screen a little bit more, use that screen to get you some separation there and try to get to the rim as well. But, yeah, if that's the offense that they're going to elect to go for there, you got to clean some things up. And I'm sure they've made that adjustment here in the halftime break, something they probably talked over. So we'll see here in half number 2 if the Bombers come out here and maybe play a little bit better than they did in that second quarter.
If you're the Titans, you have to love the fact that you've been dominating really the boards, especially in the offensive end. They've got tons of offensive rebounds, but they haven't really been able to capitalize on them that well.
No, absolutely, and they have dominated there in the offensive rebounding department, but as you mentioned, really haven't been able to score after you get those offensive rebounds. So we'll see if maybe Monmouth-Roseville can get a little more scoring around the basket there on those second chance opportunities.
Of course, I guess you wouldn't have as many offensive rebounds if you made more baskets.
Exactly.
Third quarter underway here. Lyles with it. She's going to put up a long 2-pointer, and it's off no good. Rebound picked up off the floor by the Titans. Back the other way to Churn. Lyles is back. Oh, a little hesitation. Dribble shot up and won't fall. And again, it's going to be another offensive rebound as Riley comes down with it. Now it's out to Catilli. She leaves it short. Another rebound. Churn this time. I guess that's a rebound. It was a shot. It never hit the rim, however. Way with it is, you might hear Monmouth coaches on the far side pulled out. And there's Churn with it down low. Going to kick it out. Riley jumper, no good. Tipped around again, and this time a foul's going to be called on the Titans on the rebound attempt. I think it's going to be on Copeland. It is on Copeland. Her second. No, her third, team's first.
And there we go again, Monmouth-Roseville on the offensive glass, and they would have had another offensive rebound there if it weren't for the foul. But I really like what the Bombers did on that last possession. Their first possession of the second half is exactly what we talked about. Rector was the ball handler, got the screen up there from Elby, waited until Elby got down to the bottom, wasn't quite able to make the pass, but a lot better execution to that point for Macomb.
Tilly has just been dominant down low for Monmouth-Roseville. She got a block on Elby there. Checking in is going to be Stokes, number 11. Copeland with 3 fouls, going to take a seat with 6:46 to go here in the third quarter. Titans have the 12-point lead over the Bombers. Sloan wants a 3 right wing. She hits it, a sports corner 3. And the Bombers cut it to 9. That was about the same time that Holdhouse made her 3 in the second quarter, and that was the only basket the Bombers made. Oh, what a pass and what a shot by Churn. Catilli is doing it all for the Titans. They are using that backdoor cut without the basketball, John, to get some nice looks at the basket.
Yeah, and they were able to make some pretty passes as well. Monmouth-Roseville was able to connect there to Churn. And as you said, when Cotilli's able to get that ball kind of in the high post area, she's looking to pass and score. She's been a huge offensive weapon for the Monmouth-Roseville Titans.
There it is again. That time it won't fall, but the ball's on the floor, picked up, jump ball, possession to the Titans. They're over covering the wing on that side. There's Cotilli with it. She's going to put a shoulder into Elby and put the shot up and in. She's got a game-high 8 points now, I do believe.
There's really just no one on the Bomber side that's able to match up with the size and physicality of Cotilli down there. And I think that's part of the reason why we saw Macomb up into that pressure into the backcourt. Don't want to get the Titans set up in the half court because Cotilli is a monster to stop if she's able to get down on the block.
Bombers have went to more of a motion cutting offense now, not doing the pick and roll. As Lyles on the baseline now is going to pick it up, give it to Rector. Back up top, Holthouse. Sloan now. Down baseline to Rector. And she throws it right to Riley. And Riley lost it and then got bailed out with a foul by Holthouse.
Yeah, I kind of lost the ball, had it pinned on her hip, and I don't know if she threw her arm up there and Holthouse maybe thought she had the ball for a second, just came right down on her arm with no ball, almost.
Yeah, she never got the ball off her hip and got fouled in the process, and they're going to give her 2 shots. First one is off, no good for Elena Riley. 5:06 to go in the third quarter. That one was good. And it is the largest lead of the game at 14 for the Titans. Lyles has got some open lane, but Cotilli cuts her off. If Lyles would have spun to the bucket right there, she'd had an open look. Now a steal by Riley. Back the other way it goes. She's going to hesitate, go to the lane, put the shot up way. Not a good-looking shot. It's going to go off of Stokes, out of bounds. It'll be Bomber basketball.
But it is one thing that Monmouth-Roseville has done better than Macomb, and that's just putting your head down and getting to the rim. They've been able to draw quite a few fouls here in this game because of it. Been able
Clock
to get to
is
the
not
free throw
running.
line.
There it goes.
Macomb really hasn't had that many opportunities at the stripe. None that I can think of.
No, they haven't shot a single free throw, I don't believe. And there's Stokes with it. Rector can't stop the shot from going in. That ball literally rolled far enough to just let Stokes put a shot up, and she got it up and in. Timeout on the floor, charged to the Bombers. And the Bombers, John, have got to find a way to take a little better care of the basketball and then make a shot. And at the same time, keep the Titans off the board at the other end.
Yeah, I mean, you just named it right there. They got to do about everything better. You got to cut down the turnovers. You got to score on offense, and you just got to find a way to slow these Titans down because they are coming out the halftime break and they are rolling at the moment.
4:23 to go. It's a 16-point game, 28-12. Game being brought to you by Pond Plus. Pond Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pond Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have a great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games. Located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. And they buy and sell cell phones now, right?
Yes, they do. Been getting them in every once in a while. I believe having an iPhone 16 Plus in there at the moment.
Is that the new one?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I don't keep up on that stuff like I should.
I don't either. You work there. You should be all over that stuff.
I mean, I know we have it at least. I'm not sure if it's
okay.
the newest one.
Point well taken. Point well taken. I'll let you off the hook on that. That's a good point.
And the only reason I know that is because I was showing it to somebody today. If I hadn't done that, I would have been clueless.
You're a little short-handed in there today, I hear.
Yeah, it was me and the 2 other people who run the store for the afternoon.
Well, Bob's pretty daring, letting you kind of work the front of that place, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, for sure. I tell him that every time he makes me go up there.
And a foul. Nope, they're going to call a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Bombers. That was a quick jump ball.
Really quick. I'm not even quite sure if they had hands on it, to be honest.
3:57 to go in the third quarter. In and blocked again by Catilli as Sloan had her shot blocked. Churn comes down with it. Back the other way it goes. Riley. That time Holdhouse got the better of her and got the block and goes back the other way. Catilli's going to cut. Bounce across. Lyles can't do anything with it because Catilli covers. Rector jumper high off the glass. Back iron, no good. Rebound to Elena Riley. Bombers are getting one shot opportunity each time down the floor, and the Titans are getting 3 to 4 sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bombers just really haven't been present on the rebounds at all here tonight, and I really think if the Bombers are going to try to turn this thing around, they're going to have to try to turn this thing into a track meet, get up and down the floor, force some turnovers, and really use their athleticism to their advantage, because when you get into sets like that in the half court for Monmouth-Roseville, both on offense and defense, they have just been very effective and efficient tonight.
Carmen Way gets another bucket right there. It's an 18-point game with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now a pick and roll. Worked a little better that time, but Catilli gets the block on Elby. Now Holdhouse knocks it away from Way. She gathers it back up with 2:47 to go. Churn, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout charged to the Titans, and we'll keep it here again as both teams have used 2 timeouts now. They'll have 3 timeouts remaining. Titans will have 2 fulls and a 30. Bombers will have 2 30s and a full left as we work through. There's that shut off of the fan again. It gets so quiet in here when that thing shuts off. This game being brought to you by Ron Elby Auto Sales. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.ronelby.com to check out their inventory. The LB clan sitting right down here in front of us, actually. Tried to get Justin to come up here and call some games with us, but so far, no dice.
No dice indeed.
Probably better that way.
Hey, if he wants to come up here, I'll be more than happy to let him run camera.
Could do that. He would. I'm guessing that Justin would be one of those guys that would forget what he was doing. Catilli missed, get it back, and puts it back in, and that's exactly what we've been talking about, is the rebounding on the offensive glass for the Titans has just been massively overwhelming to the Bombers.
Yeah, Macomb just completely outmatched down low, and they're going to have to try to figure out something here as the time is really starting to run short for the Bombers with the lead the way that it is.
Yeah, it's up to 20 now, and the Bombers again to this point. Holdhouse wants another 3, and she hits it. Another Sports Corner 3, her second. She has 8 points, but the Bombers still trail by 17 after the second Sports Corner 3 by her, third for the team. So they got 6 points here in the third quarter. They've given up 12. Catilli, there's Way, leaves it a little short. Elby gets the rebound that time. Only a 1-shot trip for the Titans that time. Now down to Holdhouse, pump fake, puts it up, and off, no good. Rebound away. 1:25 left in the third quarter. Copeland back in with 3 fouls. Catilli, right elbow jumper off, no good. That was, if that last one, there's down. Nice look down to Sloan. Sloan shot up and in. Nice look by Holdhouse. Cutting it to 15.
And that's back-to-back possessions that the Bombers have been able to get out in transition and get good looks at the rim. Holdhouse missed one just moments ago, but she's able to connect with Sloan there down the court. And again, I mentioned it earlier, I think if Macomb's going to get back into this game, that's going to be exactly how it takes place.
Way missed the shot, but steals it away from Rector, gets the ball back. She's going to go back. Copeland, right side jumper, mid-range, good. And the 5-0 run by the Bombers is stopped there. 31 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. A 17-point game. Sloan wants 3 top of the key. She had 1 earlier in the quarter, and she gets another one now. A sports corner 3 for Kinley Sloan. And the Bombers have found a little offense here as they've got 9 points in the quarter. Make that 11 points in the quarter. Now Holthouse is still 2, 3, same place. And left it just a little short on the pull-up 3 for Holthouse. She found herself in that same spot in the second quarter, or first quarter, I should say. So at the end of 3 complete, it's down to a 14-point game. 20 for the Bombers, 34 for the Titans. You're watching Arm Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage, the Macomb High Bombers on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
Welcome back here to Macomb High School, or Macomb. I don't even know where I'm at. Where are we at? Washington Street Gym. That's where we're at, yeah.
The original hangar.
The original hangar.
I will say it is quite a bit warmer than it was here on Monday night sitting up here. It was a little bit frigid opening up the gym there on Monday with me and Brandon here covering again the game against North Fulton.
And it's the Titans basketball to open the fourth quarter, and they're going to start with Churn making a bucket.
That's back-to-back possessions for Monmouth-Roseville going through the quarters there that they've been able to make mid-range jump shots. And I think Macomb will be happy giving up that shot to Monmouth-Roseville. That long two, you'd rather give that up than to look at the rim.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the case. Now another foul going to be called. This one on Way. Carmen Way gets the foul. Her first, team's first of the fourth quarter. 7:31 to go. It's a 16-point game. It was 20 just a few moments ago. The Bombers hit a couple threes and a transition bucket to close the gap up a little bit. And a lot of contact there. Way loses it, gathers it back up, and Stokes with it on the far side. Now Riley. Churn. Back to Stokes. Down to Copeland. Riley. They've changed this motion offense up without Cotilli in the lineup. Have you noticed that? Yeah, there's Churn again to the bucket, though, and can't get that one to fall. Lyles with the rebound, pushing it back the other way. Little block out by Elby, and it's missed by Lyles, rebounded by Way. Outlet to Stokes. Stokes now. Mwange on the defense, and it's going to be saved in. Mwange is going to come up with it as Elby saved it in. Now it's going to be stolen away. Stokes comes up with it, and she throws it right to Rector, and Holthouse back the other way with 6:22 to go. Now Holthouse is going to drive. Her layup's up and in. That might be the most unorganized stretch of basketball we've seen this entire game.
Yeah, probably pretty close there. And as you mentioned, Cotilli out of this game. I believe she went to the locker room to go get ready for the varsity contest. We'll see if Macomb can get going inside a little bit more here in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's a 14-point game, 6 minutes to go. It's not really unheard of for a comeback here, especially with the way the game's being played now with the three balls, all the threes that we're seeing.
And another steal. Holthouse, spin move. She's going to get an easy look at the basket again, and she'll get another bucket.
You say the Monroe's Titans offense looks a little bit disorganized without Cotilli on the court, for sure.
Yeah, they've went away from the high post. There's a big screen from Churn, and now a foul's going to be called on Lyles. It'll be her third, team's first of the fourth quarter. Kinley Sloan going to check back in. Mwange is going to leave. Mwangong, excuse me, is going to leave. 5:29 left. Bombers find themselves down by just 12 now. Churn. Riley Back to Copeland, 3, right corner. It's no good. Rebound to Holthouse. Now Sloan, that's almost an illegal pick, but they don't call it, and Holthouse gets another layup. Knocked out of bounds by Holthouse. It'll stay with the Titans. 5:12 remaining. Timeout on the floor. Charge to Monmouth-Roseville. It's going to be a full timeout, and John, that's quite the little comeback here for the Bombers early in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it really started as soon as Cotilli went to the locker room. Again, that Monmouth-Roseville Titans offense has been looking way different. They're not looking at the high post set anymore. They've really been just trying to work the ball around the outside with a little bit of a different motion offensive look. And Macomb's been able to come away with a couple of steals. Holthouse by herself. I believe that's 6 points in a row for her. Now we got a 10-point ball game with still 5 minutes to go. A lot of time left on the clock for these Bombers.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left, and you kind of, it looks like this, you know, they had Cotilli running that high post, and they went to a little different offense, and they put way back up at the high post. It looked like that offensive set is still there, but they just don't want to run it with Way at the high post.
Right. Absolutely, and that just kind of speaks to the gravity that Cotilli was having there. And when you swap her out for Way, and especially when you go into Cotilli the whole game, now you get a different person in there for the final 5 minutes. You got to get used to running the set with that new person in there. And, again, it's caused a lot of issues here for the Monrose offense. They've gone pretty quiet.
And the Bombers starting to pressure again as they have a little man pressure, and then losing it out of bounds. As Riley can't handle the pressure a little bit, and they had broke the pressure, right? Now they're going to return the favor and put a little pressure on the Bombers, and it's not going to get touched, and out of bounds it goes, and it'll come all the way back to the other end, and it'll be Monmouth-Roseville basketball.
And that touchdown pass, that was there for a second for Holthouse, trying to look down court to Sloan, but
Sloan broke the wrong way, though. If Sloan didn't go down court like I think Holthouse thought she was going to. Copeland travels with it.
A little shuffle of the feet there in the corner, and Macomb will get the ball set back here.
Now the Bombers take a timeout. Still down by 10 with 4:55 to go. I think it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here again. Both teams will have 2 timeouts remaining. This game being brought to you by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided their greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852. Find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. So maybe all they needed was for Cotilli to leave.
I mean, that's the way it would appear here in the fourth. Bombers have done a pretty good job cutting into this lead, but they've been having some issues here breaking through the pressure. We're going to see them go for that long pass once again. I'd like to see Holthouse just get the ball in. They really haven't much issues breaking the press in the first quarter, but now all of a sudden they've got back-to-back turnovers.
Yeah, baseball passes are not the easiest thing to do.
Not when you're throwing a basketball.
No. Football touchdown. A touchdown baseball pass with a basketball is essentially what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, something like that.
4:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Way with it. Corner. Stokes for 3. It gets nothing. Sloan had the basketball. Jump ball called. Bomber basketball.
So, again, we'll see the Bombers get set to break this pressure. A little bit disorganized there to start. Now they get it into the near side 4.
They got a 3-on-2. Sloan, an extra pass that was not needed and should have took that shot up probably.
Yeah, you can see Sloan there with hands on her face. No shoe, just should have went up strong with that. And still to this point, the Bombers with no free throws, they've really kind of went away from the contact at the rim, not really going into anybody. And again, late in this game, you're going to need to score with the clock off. You'd like to see Macomb try to get to that rim and draw some contact.
Churn trying to break the pressure. Now it's Riley. And they've had some opportunities to, and I don't think they're supposed to, or that's not what they're looking to do is trap, but they've had some great opportunities to trap there in the corners, John, and have not taken advantage of it.
Yeah, especially when you can get the ball on the positive side of half court, get trapped in that corner. We're using the baseline and the backcourt line as extra defenders. You like to see Macomb maybe look for that, and I'm surprised they're really not here as we're halfway through the fourth. You need to get as many possessions as you can here.
You know, we saw things change for the Bombers, and she traveled with the basketball before she inbounded. You got to keep your feet. You can move 1 foot, but you can't move 2, and she took steps. .402 remaining. And what had been a really productive start for this quarter to the Bombers is really taken a – and there's that backdoor cut. It's going to go off the hands of Copeland out of bounds. I was going to say an offensive, very productive start to this quarter has kind of slowed down since the pressure came.
Yeah, it sure has, and you can see they're doubling Holthouse there on the inbounds pass. They got 2 defenders here on the near side basketball court picking up Holthouse, denying her the basketball. Really just trying to make the other Bombers do something outside of Holthouse.
Riley travels with the basketball. 3:42 remaining. Wollongong back in the ball game. Get it into Elby. Holthouse. 3:35 remaining. Shot off, no good for Lyles. Jump ball, possession will go to Monmouth-Roseville. Suddenly a whole lot of discombobulated basketball going on for both sides, it seems like.
Yeah, things were starting to pick up there early in the fourth, and as you mentioned it there, another unforced turnover in the backcourt from Monrose.
Pull-up jumper from the left elbow on a steal for Holthouse. And she's got another bucket, and it's down to 8. Now she's got a chance at another steal. She's going to throw it. She had it, but it throws it to the wrong team. And Stokes gets it back, and timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout charged to the Titans. So we'll keep it here again. And at this point, John, I feel like the Bombers have got the upper hand now, even though they're still down by 8. They've got momentum. They've got things on. They just need to slow down a little bit, take care of the basketball, and get a couple shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, all the momentum is in the favor of Macomb at the moment. Monrose has gone very quiet on the offensive end, but they have still applied that defensive pressure, giving Macomb a lot of issues. And as you mentioned right there, Holthouse is able to get the steal. She has hands on the ball. I don't know, you can hang on to that for a second or two longer and then try to make the good pass, or, wait and let your coach call a timeout here late.
Our problem is both teams are down in timeouts. And what might be a close game, Bombers only have 2 left. Monmouth-Roseville has 1 remaining. And nearly another steal, but it bounced right to Riley. Now Stokes, her shot, how on earth did she get that up and under to fall? But she got it to fall, and it's a bucket for the Titans, back to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, that's a huge shot with 3 minutes to go for Stokes, and as you mentioned, back up to a double-digit lead for Monrose, their first bucket in a while here.
And there's another foul on Churn. Team second. Not a lot of fouls here in this one. 2:45 remaining. Holthouse lost it. Tried to go behind her back. It bounced off her hip. When she turned back to grab it, it bounced off her foot, and she couldn't track it down before it went out of bounds. Back in the ball game is Livingston. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Holthouse has played a large number of minutes in this game, and she's really been trying to be active here down the stretch. You got to wonder if maybe that's a little bit of fatigue there on the ball handling.
Pair of 10s guarding each other right now. Boy, Stokes tried to come up and just lay a pick into Holthouse, but missed her. Now Rector nearly with a steal, but it falls out of bounds on the baseline. It'll be Titans basketball. Copeland with it up top. Now Livingston. Churn.
Monroe's happy to run time off the clock here.
Yeah, I'm not real sure that that's not a good shot. And they're going to call Churn again for a foul. And that was probably the cleanest foul she's been called on all night. That's team foul number 3, 4 on Churn. That's what Coach over there saying, well, I did that. She kind of just brought it to her. I mean, and he isn't wrong. Back the other way, Lyles with it. Under 2 minutes to go now. Pull-up jumper, off, no good. Wongong with it. Out to Lyles again, same spot, different result. She gets that one to fall.
Same spot, but a lot easier shot. Catch and shoot there for Lyles if she can steal on the inbound.
Goes to Holdhouse. Holdhouse puts the shot up. It's off, no good. Ball on the floor. Churn has it. Gets it off to Stokes. Stokes over to Livingston. Livingston puts the shot up, off, no good. Holdhouse with the rebound. She's going to push it back the other way. She's going to beat everybody down the floor. Churn's there, and they call a block with 1:16 remaining.
To be fair, pretty consistent on the calls tonight. We've seen a lot of contact all over the place with no calls. They let that one play through there for Holthouse again.
Struggling to get it in again. Finally gets it into Lyles, and Bombers can't waste any time here. Holdhouse lifts the 3 short. Rebound to Copeland. 1:05 remaining. Stokes under a minute to go now. Bombers would have to foul 4 times just to make them shoot free throws. Elby gets the foul there. It's her second, team's second, so they got 2 more to give before they even get them into free throws with 47.6 seconds left. And I would imagine without some help from turnovers from Monmouth-Roseville, this is probably not going to work out for the Bombers.
No, I wouldn't expect them to foul in this situation down A, but you never know what we might see here. And again, Monmouth-Roseville is going to look to deflate the basketball now. Macomb's going to keep pressing for that steal, but all the Titans have to do is take good care. Don't turn the ball over here down the stretch.
25 seconds. Bombers have went back to a man-to-man. That possession where the Titans took about a minute off the clock, they went to a zone. I think they're in a man-to-man. 2-1, and that's the final. They were down by 20. They cut it to 8, but that's as close as they could get. 38-30 the final. The Bombers dropped this game to the Titans. We'll be back in just a little bit with the varsity contest. So for John Burton, I'm Dwayne Hillett. You've been watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.